they are having in the interest of this country. We're taking a few bars of the team. So when we come back, we'll run through the program. Great time to be right. Very great time to be back. Of course, we're here again to talk about the legislature, to talk about the Honorable House of Representatives, the people who speak on behalf of this country, who are making sure that decisions are centered around the people, and then they take decisions that benefit the country. Yeah, we're back.
We bring you greetings from the Honorable Speaker of the 55th Legislature, Councillor J. Funati Kofar, the Deputy Speaker of Lofa County District 1. I'm talking about Representative Thomas Falai, the great people of the 55th Legislature, the staffers, and of course, we're here again to tell you what's unfolding on Capitol Hill. A basic week it has been. I know it has been a time of mourning on Capitol Hill, but in as much as we've been mourning, there have been some other national issues taking place in this country that you ought to know about. So it's good that you are listening, and you can just invite a friend to listen along with you as we go on and on with this program.
That's great. Of course, from the 73 electoral districts in our country, summing up to know that we have representatives who are there at the legislature, who are enacting laws in your interests. And so we, on Wednesday of this week, we had the lying state of an honorable gentleman who served the legislature. He served the interim legislative assembly, and then in 2018 as representative elect of Nima County, and he was subsequently sworn in, and he served the great people of electoral district number 9, Nima County. It's called Yamen Sloan District, and we had a state funeral for him. He was lying state Honorable Professor Johnson Gueglo. On today was his funeral service at the Martha Tottenham Memorial United Methodist Church, and it was quite a man who lived for the people. So a lot of those things went on through. But at the state funeral, we had both current and former officials of government paying tribute, and Yega, you was there, you saw how he worked. I mean, exemplifying life we have to live, so that it speaks. Once you're not around, people say, "Oh yeah, somebody passed this route."
Indeed, I want to talk about the funeral arrangements of fallen former Representative Johnson Gueglo of Nima County District 9, because I know outside of the professional work, I had a father and son relationship with him. But I like to start on this note, probably to extend a congratulatory message to the newly inducted Director General of the Liberia Broadcasting System. I'm talking about Honorable Eugene Falcon and his team. Thanks, taking over. And I know that this is going to be a cordial relationship, given that the Honorable House of Representatives has had this conversation ever since with the management of the Liberia Broadcasting System. Director Hinz, you was here on the time of the induction ceremony, but of course, using this platform on behalf of the President Public Affairs Bureau also to extend our greetings and best wishes to the team here at the Liberia Broadcasting System. We hope to continue our collaboration.
Well, definitely. So LBS have a new management team. Of course, we were here during the induction ceremony, and we spoke and congratulated the team, a new team, and we said that put country first, and let's serve and serve with diligence. And I know uh, I used to call him deputy minister. Now he's director general.
Yeah, Director General.
DG Fangon will do his part. Of course, yes, the institution got to move on and serve and serve diligently. He's my friend. He's my brother. He's my big brother. We've known each other ever since we worked together. He's a workaholic person. But we're here talking about the legislature. So we talk about the life and work of Professor Johnson Gweglo, reflecting on those time he had at the legislature. There are people who serve along with Honorable Gweglo in the intern legislative assembly. One would basically say the NTLA, there at the legislature, and later on being elected by the people of Yameslon District, electoral district number 9, Nima County. He served his people. Today there are marks that they're able to look at. You have the ferry there. People can cross over with vehicles to go to the other end, you know, and those things being done. And he was one person who words were he born. When he said this to you, go up, come down, he meant it. And so we used to show today to reflect and talk about the life and service of a great son of Liberia, a great man who served Liberia in different roles, served twice as Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs. He also served as Deputy Minister for Labor. He served as Deputy Minister for Finance. He served as Deputy Minister for Ministry of Public Works. This is a man we're talking about who've come to public service with dedication. And that's why on today, His Excellency President Joseph Yoman Boaka went at the Mato Toma United Methodist Church and had to also talk about a relationship he had with the fallen Nima County lawmaker. So, I mean, we'll have more time and reflect and talk about his service to the country.
You're quite correct. And again, we'd like to extend our deepest condolences to the bereaved family, those closely related to fallen former Representative Johnson Gwegelo, members of the legislature, the great people there in Limad County, District 9, those in academia, amongst several others. It is much more difficult, probably, to talk about someone who some of us knew very closely, and his passing has hurt. If not, but we have had sorrow along the way. And so I know for sure that the 55th legislature, headed by the Honorable Speaker, Councillor J. Fonati Kofa, earlier this week opened the book of condolence in memory of fallen former Representative Johnson Gwegolo of Nimel County, District 9. And that ceremony was marked by the signing for the book of condolence. You had top officials of government, including the President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency Ambassador Joseph Yuman Bwakar. You had the Honorable Speaker, Councillor Jade Fonati Kofa, and members of the Honorable House of Representatives signing the book of condolence. You also had the Liberian Senate, talking about members of the Liberian Senate, inclusive of the President pro tem. They all signed the book of condolence, inclusive of staffers who knew Representative Johnson Gwegolo. And so, as part of the signing ceremony, came the state funeral. And if you listen earlier on, Director Hinn said that fallen former Representative Johnson Gueglo remains light in state in the rotunda of the Capitol on yesterday, and that is, if not, but a legislative tradition. If a fallen colleague of the legislature is gone or so, you will have the family members requesting, and that is much more a form to pay their last respect to someone who has served this country. And this time, we are talking about fallen former Representative Johnson Gueglo.
Right, definitely. And so today, what we're going to do is to get a couple of calls come in about what you've known about this honorable gentleman. Apart from the legislature, in academia, he served as the vice president of fiscal affairs at the United Methodist University before becoming the president. And he was on the basis of his service to the UMU as the vice president for fiscal affairs, that led him to become the president of the United Methodist University, and then he went on to come to the legislature. So we are going to first have a summary of who was Honorable Johnson Gueglo. I mean, after he contested the elections in 2023, though did not win, but he was able to give a word of caution to members of the 55th legislature, saying to them, say, look, do your best, serve your country. And he was able to acknowledge the fact that, yes, the people of electoral district number 9, Nema County, said it was a time for change. And he graciously accepted that the people's voice spoke. And so let's go and bring you the Press and Public Affairs Bureau summary of Honorable Johnson Gueglo.
Senior diplomat, and you call me Junior Combre.
So we're hoping that we're able to take on to the House Press and Public Affairs Bureau reflection of the life of Honorable Johnson Gueglo. Well, that should be, there's some technical hiccup here, but we're hoping we can get that set up. The Press and Public Affairs Bureau have done a summary of the life of the
paying tribute.
Paying
the Press and
tribute,
Public Affairs
in a
Bureau.
way where it's been summed up so that we're able to definitely, most people at times who will be along the corridors and want to know who was this gentleman, who was this man, what did he do, and so forth like that. And they will amaze you to know that even after the election, Honorable Gueglo was able to give his words, out and say the people spoke and we accepted. Yeah.
Yes, you're correct. And, as part of the
So basically, what I'm seeing now is that probably we're going to just take the tribute coming up, the eulogy of our lawmakers about Johnson Gueglo instead, because I'm not really. We're good. We hear chocolate, but how lawmakers think and feel about the fallen Nema County lawmaker.
I remember Honorable Gueglo in so many ways, in so many instances that I'm going to miss him for. He was not just a colleague, he was a mentor. I saw him as a teacher. He was someone that whenever we did activities within the caucus, first of all, I always reach out to him. Whenever I scroll through my email, I see thousands of exchanges of mail between Honorable Gueglo and myself. So this to tell you that he's someone that I will always miss. I will forever remember him. We saw him as a mentor, owing to the fact that he came to the legislature with wealth of experience, and we just tapped onto his wisdom. So whenever he took the microphone, when he's speaking, we remain quiet, although there were some changes at some point, but he was someone that you always want to listen to, and listening to him was just another great thing because you will always walk away with some piece of wisdom. He was not a person who just sitting and didn't mean what he said. So he was that person, like I said, a principle-minded person, a disciplinarian, someone who stood for the cause. We just want to extend again our condolences. This loss is not just to the family, it's to the entire country and to Nima County. So we just want to say, take solace.
As I start to talk about it, it brings a lot of sorrows to me because Homo Greglo will always be remembered. A astute statesman, a man that passionate about everything he do. And the most saddening part was not just being a colleague, but he was like a father to me and a Methodist brother also. I spoke to him the whole of Sunday. We compared notes on the conference. He came home and he called me around 9 o'clock. We spoke. And then in the morning, by 7 o'clock, I learned he was dead. Up to present, I've tried to process the whole thing. And I just believe Liberia had lost one of the very strong and honest men. I'm always going to remember him. He was always willing to teach. Some of those issues, when I'm confronted with it on the floor, and when I reach out to him, he always has an answer. He don't know how to say no to anybody. Nothing is big for you to do for anyone. We want to miss you so dearly. Homo Greglo, a great man.
It's very saddening for the legislature, which of course Honorable Johnson Greco was senior member. Honorable Greco is one person who is loved by majority of the lawmakers based on his working relationship. He was one person who actually loved to work with everybody. In fact, his close-knit Kenya-ball when he began to serve as rule and order here. He served in that capacity. He worked closely with all lawmakers and even staff. Honorable Greco was my very close friend. In fact, I used to call him Senior Elder from Nima County, and he used to call me Junior Brother. It's very much sad in the loss that away a lot from us, and we are all grieving and we're missing a lot. I want to say to the people of District Number 9, the citizens of Nima County, my deepest condolences to the family for the loss of a great son of Nima County. Recounting my memory with our fallen colleague Honorable Pueblo, always call him Senior Comrade. And at a certain point, we elevated the me Senior Comrade to Senior Diplomat, and you will call me Junior Comrade, Junior Diplomat. He is a Liberian that not only a member of the legislature will miss, but even those in the educational sector of our country will also miss. Those from the diplomatic setting, they will also miss him. So it means that it is not only Nima County that is hurt as a result of the homegoing of a comrade, a father, and one of the astute statesmen of Liberia, but the entire country will actually feel a loss. I too have an experience, especially when we stood on the floor to debate issues. On the gabble of office chambers, when there were tense discussions on the floor, when the chambers gabble was looking for someone to relax the tension on the floor, I believe the gabble saw no one but Honorable Johnson Pueblo. And sometimes when he began the motion, you will hear a lot of noise on the floor, but at the final climax of the motion, everyone will accept the motion that he raised. So Liberia has lost a diplomat. Liberia has lost a son. And I feel it is a great blow specifically to the citizens of District Number 9, Nima County.
It is regrettable that we lost one of our brothers, an educator or mentor who persevered and went at the high rank by getting doctorate degree. More besides, who served as Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, Deputy Minister of Works, Deputy Minister of Ministry of Finance, and also President of the United Methodist University. Subsequently, he was elected as representative, who served as one of the leaders in this house on the Rules, Order, and Administration Committee. Honorable Goiklo was a diplomat, and Nima Kante had lost one of the sons. Honorable Goiklo was co-chair for the Nima Legislative Caucus, but he was almost like the chairman, the secretary of everything, because he had passion for the country and wanted the right thing to be done. So we enjoy working with him. It is regrettable and saddening that Nima had lost not only the loss of like Mbaye, but the entire Liberia, because he served at the national level. So for this reason, we only pray for the remaining family.
I first got to know Honorable Goiklo when we came together in the 54th legislature. He was one person through his demeanor and through his sense of purpose, who, although did not hold any official title among the members, automatically assumed a lot of leadership role in much of what we did in our deliberations. And then he later became chair of a committee on education, and then gradually as chair on Rules, Order, and Administration. During my interaction with him, he was always a fair and honest person, always gave wise counsel, always there to be a reconciler and a mediator. And the 55th has missed his skill as a leader and a reconciler. And we, as his friends, and I'm sure his family, will miss him as a human being. We are indeed grateful for the time we spent with him, for the time we know him, and we are very sorry for this loss.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, distinguished colleagues of the 54th and incoming colleagues of the 55th, I move, if I can obtain a second, that having successfully served as lawmakers for the Republic of Liberia for the last 6 years and coming to a successful conclusion on this day, I move, Mr. Speaker, Deputy Speaker, distinguished colleagues, that the 54th legislature comes to an end today and that all businesses are concluded today and the legislature, the 54th stands dissolved to make way for the 55th legislature. I so move.
Fallen Nima County District 9 representative, Professor Johnson Gweglo, was a true leader who inspired and touched the lives of Nimbayans, among other Liberians, through a selfless display of community and humanitarian support. It is more interesting to outline his remarkable contributions towards the development of Nima County District 9, Liberia, in line with his constitutional functions of lawmaking, oversight, and representation during his days on earth. Representative Johnson Gweglo had a great vision, ability, and enthusiasm to lobby, concern for others, self-confidence, diligence, and integrity.
It was a productive time for me. It was encouraging. It was worth the while. The experience was good. I built new relationships. I strengthened old relationships. And the decision was made by the citizens of Electoral District Number 9 that it was time for change. And that change was made peacefully, which was accepted graciously so that we can move on. But one of the things that I admire at the Capitol building for the last 6 years was just the camaraderie. The interaction and engagement with the colleagues was good. People held me in high esteem, and we reciprocated the respect for one another. We enacted laws with the support of colleagues. We provided oversight to agencies that needed to be guarded. And we represented our constituency at the legislative level and even represented the entire country at international fora. The fourth responsibility, which is community engagement, we engaged in that very well, to the extent that every part of electoral district number 9 felt our impact. There is something that is there that people can reflect on and say, oh yes, a lawmaker passed through this district and this is what he left behind.
He truly served the Honorable House of Representatives as chairman on several leadership committees and adequately performed, thereby bringing pride to the dynamic people of Nimba County District 9.
Nimba ngatuage ungawula zoge keka kwa kege dileke na kege dileke anye lekwa ke gidi wa kweka ye won yo klikle keyi ke alebubia eke won yeka le midungbe wonyo pugo le wa kememo duro pideze mo na wonyo ke mero dossier wa gidi ke duka kasenga tiawoge ke na kaseng ngwe kapa ma kasenga wula zoge te kwasen kwa yi ke kwa tuge katu.
We have lost a generational leader, a servant, a teacher, a father, and a great diplomat. Our deepest sympathy to the immediate family, the people of Nimba County, the legislature, and all those related. This is a production of the Press and Public Affairs Bureau of the Honorable House of Representatives, read by Lokwed Yeager.
Indeed, Yeager, great job there. Earlier was the voices of members of the 54th and 55th legislature, reflecting on the life of Honorable Professor Johnson Gweglo, and then the summary. And of course, in that you also heard the voice of the fallen Nimba County lawmaker, Honorable Johnson Gweglo.
Indeed, we are right here and in the voice of the Honorable Speaker. And yesterday, one of such that the family members of fallen former Representative Johnson Gweglo received as part of the state funeral was the overwhelming tribute and turn up to celebrate his legacy. And of course, the Honorable Speaker also encouraged members of the family to continue to do their best why Honorable Johnson Gweglo is no more. But it's interesting to know that he was selfless, he was dutiful, and he was steadfast in doing the work of the Liberian people. Wherever he found himself, he delivered and delivered to the best of his ability. And so on yesterday, Liberians turned up in their numbers. Members of the Honorable House of Representatives were in attendance. Members of the Liberian Senate Vice President Jeremiah Kwankun also represented President Joseph Yuman Bwaka at the occasion. And you had the family members weeping, but of course, they were being comforted by the words of, in fact, by the tributes coming forth from some past officials of government and those in government right now.
So what we're going to do, open the lines, interact with Liberians on reflecting on the life of this fallen public servant. The numbers are 0880514-096, 07702596660. Those are the numbers. You can join us to be a part of the conversation here this evening as we talk more about this fallen Nimba County legislator who served in the NTLA and also in the 54th legislature of the Republic of Liberia, reflecting on his life and service to the country. 0880514-096, 0880514-096, 07702596660 are the numbers to join us. This person on the line. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Tell us where you call from.
I'm Ishmael Isaac James. I call you from Foya, Local County, District number 1.
Please go ahead from Foya.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm very much glad tonight. Let me just be grateful to the House of Representation for them having this learning zone on Thursday from 5 to 6. It can help us in the country to understand what is happening. And secondly, let me also say let me also send a condolence to the family of the bereaved. May no rest in perfect peace. Thank you so much this evening. God bless you.
Thank you so much from Foya there, Foya District in Lofa County. That's electoral district number 1. And the deputy speaker is the representative of electoral district 1 in Lofa.
Let's go to the line and talk to this caller. Hello, welcome. Hello, welcome.
It's sparkling. 08805140960770259660. Call us to be a part of the conversation here this evening. We're reflecting on the life and service of Honorable Professor Johnson Gweglo, who served the Republic of Liberia from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Ministry of Labor, the Ministry of Public Works, the legislature of the Republic of Liberia, the Ministry of Finance. Let's go to the line here, guys.
Hello, welcome. Hello, welcome.
Oh, sorry, I don't know what's happening right there. This person joining us on the conversation, 08805140960770. Alternatively, you can call us on 0770-259660 to be a part of the conversation. This evening, we're right here, and this is a national conversation we're having. Of course, I'm reflecting on the life and service of Honorable Professor Johnson Gweglo. You listen to those areas he served, serving with dedication, passion, and dedication. And so it's nothing easy, Yegan, to serve in those areas and navigating your way the best way possible, seeing those number of people that turn up, like get Bobby Allison joining us. This person, hello.
Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you very much for joining us. Bobby Allison here, the investigative security journalist.
Thank you, sir, for recognition. What got to know, I guess you want us to pay our tribute to Woman Gweglo. May his soul rest in peace. The 54th National Legislature, I remember while I was there at Zion University, things was not going the way it's supposed to at the time. And he came in, saw sadness in my face in the office. He said, "What's going on, Bobby?" I said, "Chief, it's in school business." He said, "My man, education is important. If there's any issues and things, come to my office, let's talk." Absolutely. I went around him, and he was opportune to chip in to solve some problem, financial problem that I had at the time. And he said, "I don't want you to drop from school. Go to school. Education is important." And during my thesis, defending my thesis was one of those I had on the list for Johnson Gweglo when it comes to education. Someone was there to motivate some of us. So may his soul rest in peace. I know we have a lot to say at the Capitol building. I serve as chairman of Waste, Means and Finance. But I'm chairman of Rules Order Administration, I'm sorry. And other things that he did while we were there at Starbucks on the 54th National Legislature under Dr. Buford Chambers. So may his soul rest in peace. And to the guys in Nema County, Radio D now, I know whether you are relaying this program. May the soul of your boss, fallen hero, rest in peace. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Bobby Allison there joining us. More of the conversation, more of the calls can come into 0770-259-660 to be a part of the conversation here, reflecting on the life and service of Honorable Professor Johnson Gweglo. So you listen to Bobby Allison. He's a journalist by profession. He also served in the legislature. He's also and he was able to give his own testimony about Professor Gweglo in academia, encouraging him to go to school, encouraging him along the way, with his service.
Yes, like I said, every sector falling former Representative Johnson Gweglo served this country during his days on earth. He served with diligence. And of course, having Bobby to talk about the contributions of the fallen statesmen and the world of academia is no surprise, because for sure, every time that you had Representative Johnson Gueglo to talk on the floor of the Honorable House of Representatives, even if the horde was politically charged, I mean, talking about legislative politicking, you have the members of the Honorable House of Representatives in the 54th legislature giving their attention to the wordings of the fallen statesman. He was one of those persons who brought sense to the discourse. And so, not a single day when he spoke, the Liberians did not learn new things.
Right. So let's take more of the calls. 0770259660. The number to call us here on the conversation, reflecting the life and service of Professor Johnson Gueglo here on the program. This is Today in the House of Representatives. It is 1 hour radio program, comes on every 5 o'clock, Thursday, 5 to 6 o'clock. We're here talking about the decisions taken up Capitol Hill from the Honorable House of Representatives, where your people are there knocking their chests on our behalf, talking about great things, those decisions they take on our behalf to make sure Liberia is a great country. 0770259660. Call us to be a part. Let's hear you too. Those of you also in Nima County, Professor Gueglo remains as on today after the funeral routes at the United Methodist Church, Martha Totman. Here in Pinzo, he remains returned through the Samuel Chicago funeral pilot, and they're going to be taken to Nima County, Yame Sloan District on tomorrow morning by 7 a.m. And that will be the departure to Nima County in Zikipa. And that is where another night of wakekeeping will take place. And on Saturday will be the funeral routes, and the second funeral routes and entombment will follow. Then on Wednesday, 3rd of April, will be the Passover there in Zikipa, Nima County. Yeah.
Yes, every time. I know when I had a conversation with the fallen former representative of Nima District 9, he said to me, Yega, I'm talking about Zikipa. So he had focused, he had love for his people there in Nima County. And I listened to current representative Ta Wangbe of Nima County District 9 when he said to us in the press bureau that, look, when Representative Johnson Gueglo, the late, lost the election, he called me immediately, congratulated me, and I then said to him, Representative Johnson Gueglo, I would need to collaborate with you. That is using the old mat to plot a new mat.
Right.
And so he kindly accepted, and the fallen representative was invited to his first general development meeting.
First development meeting, yeah. And he also had our former representative,
yes,
Matineke
Tengbe also. But, when Representative Johnson Gueglo had gone to that event, he said, look, the fallen representative was dressed into a white suit. And I, too, was dressed into a white suit. And then he said to me, Representative Ta Wongwe, I'm saying to you that I have got nothing against you, even though I lost the election and you won, but I'm willing to partner with you for the development of Nima County District 9.
Right.
And Representative Ta Wongwe said, look, it was so much amazing to have someone who have lost the election say to me that he's willing to partner with me for the forward march of the county. And then he went on to say that Representative Gueglo, fallen Representative Johnson Gueglo, attendance spoke about the unity that he promoted, because,
Right.
It would be a difficult task to have someone who has just lost the election.
Yeah, to be
and you have
that
given
open
the
up
invitation,
to you,
yes,
right,
you
and
know.
then come and then also give you words of caution
Very well.
and willing to be able to work with you. It's not common in our society.
He was just a man of peace. Everywhere he went, he was just a man of peace. It's difficult to talk about the contributions. Look, the many contributions of Representative Johnson Gueglo. He was selfless. this is one person that if we were to talk about here, look, we wouldn't end this show by this evening. Because when he served the United Methodist University, he was one of those persons. Every time he wrote and said, look, I'm trying to test your ability to know in terms of your grammatical composition. And then we'll talk about such. But he was a knowledgeable man. Look, he didn't have the sharpest of all voices that people would think they will have here.
Right.
in
He was
his
a
politicking.
diplomat, you know.
Look, he approached
The
him
man who could
systematically.
Go water in hala hala.
Yes,
That's,
you
right?
know, and
Let's see whether we can grab on this person calling. Seem to be this line is
yes, so we're still having some hitches along. Yeah, yeah, but when Vice President Jeremiah Cohn spoke on yesterday, he said there has been a long relationship that existed between fallen Representative Johnson Gwegelo and I, because I know for sure when I opted to contest the senatorial seat in 2020, according to the Vice President, he said, "Look, Honorable Johnson Gwegelo was with the CDC. And so he could not pledge his support, but he called me in and said, look, you are my son. I wish you all of the best. But in this endeavor, I will not support you. I'm going to support my political affiliation."
but he was definite.
So
you know,
they didn't have the rivalry into the election.
right.
Code of the matter, current Vice President won as Senator of Nimad County. He said, look, when it was the 2023 elections, I was on another side, and Representative Johnson Gwegelo was also on another side. He said, we spoke and spoke, but there was no rivalry as we campaigned in Nimad County. That was a similar conversation from Representative Tai Wongwe, who said, you know, Honorable Gwegelo,
They did not have. They
yes,
didn't talk
and
about
him
each
did
other.
not have rivalry.
So it was not a dirty politics.
No,
you know? Yeah,
never
so-
was there dirty politics in Nimad District 9. So he was selfless. He was a man of peace. He was a man who had all of what, you know, one would talk about. And now that he's gone, you know, one would say that other Liberians, those in Nimad County, the family members who want to see another Representative Johnson Gwegelo being selfless to society.
Right. And so the people of Yameslon District 9, another one who spoke to the current representative on the retired one, we said he was going ahead to prepare it. And so the people expect the remains of their fallen hero, and that will be taking place on tomorrow morning, exactly at 7 a.m. And it will be the departure from the Samuel Scraggot Funeral Parlor to Yameslon, District number 9, Nimad County. Of course, the Press and Public Affairs Bureau will be there. The director and deputy director of the Press and Public Affairs Bureau will be in Zekipa. Thanks to the leadership of the House of Representatives.
Yeah, for ensuring.
For ensuring that we have the representation of various departments. The protocol department of the House of Representatives will also be there, present in flesh and blood, as they always done from the very get-go of the home of Honorable Gwegelo. And then the Sergeant at Arms, the office of the Sergeant at Arms, you have them represented there also as well, like they were at the state funeral and also at the church on today. They're also going to be in Zegepat, Nimad County. So great time. I'm sure we have to be able to close up. Most of the people who've been tuning in is something in such a way, Yega, that if you know somebody very close,
Yes,
to
it's difficult to talk about
It's
people of
very-
such kind.
exactly, it's very difficult. So today, a couple of those tributes that started to come on, and yeah, a lot of people crying. But I think it speaks more to us, our presence on this earth, how we interact with our fellow friend man or our fellow human beings. And the way we interact should be able to speak a lot about us when we're not around. I think those things came about on today.
Yes, you know, and we all are mourning. It's difficult, like I said from the onset, that it's difficult for me to talk about someone who I knew, who considered me, and we had a father and son relationship outside of the professional work environment. And you know, I don't know, but sometimes and such a time is much more difficult to have us talk all that we can talk about fallen former Representative Johnson Gweglo. But look, from the look of things, and like Representative Tal Wongwe said of Nima District 9, the entry of the remains of fallen former Representative Johnson Gweglo will have, if not, but a dramatic scene where you will have the people of Nimad County District 9 not just mourning, but they will be there to pay their very last respect to a man who represented the interest of Nimad County, a man who is the outcome of peace for the great people of Nimad County District 9. This is the man who, when you talk about academic activities there in Nimad County,
As
and
a matter of
please go to
fact,
his arches for the
as a matter of fact,
establishment,
the establishment of the college
up to the university
up
status,
to university level, it was a Nima
community college.
Nima Community College, and when he
And he
was
was the
serving as the
brain.
chairperson on the House's Committee on Education, because many of those community colleges, inclusive of the Grand Bassa Community College that later became a university, most of them, when he was serving as a chairperson on education, those were some of what came on his watch, and they were able to execute. And the Nima County Community College, now
got
university,
elevated.
on his watch, and he in fact sponsored that bill, and it got passed. And so it's something all people will be able to look at. And I know the service to our country pays a lot. He's done many of those jobs, and the new representative is also willing and prepared to take it from exactly where Honorable Professor Gweglo left it. And so Zekipa, we on our way there to you people to make sure that this fallen hero is given his last respect.
And we will be there to pay our very last respect. I know the family members have since commended the Honorable House of Representatives. They've commended the 55th legislature for standing by the family during the time of bereavement. You know, more of such will be said in Nimad County when we are there. But again, we'd like to also say thank you for recognizing the efforts of the 55th legislature standing by and with the family during this very difficult time when the family is mourning someone who has been an asset to the society.
Well, that's all the time we're going to be here for. The next time we're here will be on Thursday. We'll be talking much more about other issues. Some of those things that we didn't touch on, we'll be looking at it. The House is currently on break, the legislature in particular. The possibility of a return to make sure
imminent.
that is imminent, to make sure that the growth and development of this country, the lawmakers are very committed. The work, whether it's rain, whether it's shine, to make sure that the interest of Liberia stands. And so they're well and prepared to come back to work in their interest that they always done. And so once we reach that bridge, we cross it, and we'll be able to inform the public. But the president of Liberia has written to have a possible return, to have the lawmakers to cut short their break, to come and look at some other crucial national issue. So we are going to look into it, the decision of the leadership. We're going to inform the public, and that probably when we start and we'll run through. But I'm being told is going to work best in the interest of the Republic of Liberia. And that's why the 55th legislature is very committed to make sure that the interests of this country, they promote transparency, accountability.
Yeah, so when the return is imminent or when it takes full swing,
The public will definitely be
we
informed.
will be here to tell you a couple of those issues because you know it will come with what is expected as part of the duration, and you know very well that the budget is currently before the legislature for full execution. There are a couple of other national issues to talk about, some relative to security of the country, some to talk about the governance of this country, but the other one will talk about how we can raise revenue in this country. And it should not be misinterpreted. Never would that be.
Definitely. And so that's all the time we have to be here on the conversation. And today, thanks to the LBA management for always being cooperative with us, the legislature, to make sure that the public is informed every Thursday when we come to talk about the workings of the House of Representatives. That's all the time. My name is Robert Haynes. Great time together here next Thursday. Bye-bye.